Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Mitchell FX here. First off, if we can all subscribe, hit that like button, that would be massively appreciated. So I am going to be doing a rundown of all of these pairs here on the right hand side, just to see if we can see anything, some possibilities for entries for this upcoming week, which is the 23rd of June. So let's have a little look on every single one, see if we can see some areas, some possibilities for where we could start to look for entries. So if we're coming off this low here, drag it across slightly just to see if it's an area of interest. We can see it is, so there's quite a lot happening through here. Personally, straight off here, I would be looking for a sell. You know, down to the downside. If, let me draw a little bit of a trend line as well. Looks like we have a trend line, so we have a break on this trend line. We have 1, 2, let's drop it down, 3 touches. It broke that line though, it pushed back up, and now it's come down. So personally, I would be looking for a sell somewhere around this area, break and retest to take the lows. So that is what I would be saying this week is sells for AUD CAD, AUD CHF. Okay. The reason I'm quite sell side, a lot of people would say this is buy side, you know, which you could say it is. We've got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We've then got a high low. We didn't break this previous high, we broke the low. You know, if you mark the higher high, mark the higher low, you know, let me just draw that again, higher high, higher low to there. You can see, oh my gosh, you can see, right, if I drag it to the side and draw it bang on where it was, you can see the higher high here, the higher low there. We broke this higher low, so we now got a change of character, which means there's a possibility to the downside. You know, and again, we've got a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. So if we drop it down a time frame, see if we can target this neckline a lot more, which is right there. You can see that straight away. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, several touches. So straight away, my personal opinion is break and retest on this left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break the neckline, sell to the downside. So that is a possibility that I would be looking for this week. AUDJPY, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Weekly, daily, got some high highs, high lows for me. Drop it down a time frame. So we initially, again, you could say, you know, it's coming down, lower low, lower high, lower low. We didn't break this low. In fact, we broke above the lower high. So my opinion is, again, if we drop it down a time frame, look, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we've started to go higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So personally, draw it off the top, I would be looking for a break, a retest somewhere around that level for the top. Is my personal opinion. I do think it is going to push up. Got a little bit of a trend line there with 2 taps. No, I don't want to go too high of a time frame. So that is my area of interest for AUDJPY. AUD New Zealand. Let's have a little bit of a look what's going on. So we've started to create some highs. Similar scenario. We've got the top, we've got support resistance. I will be looking for break and retest on that top. We have got a fair value gap right there, which we are in. So it has respected that and pushed up. So there's a possibility it could now respect that and push up again. Reason it's consolidated here, you can see straight away there is another fair value gap within a fair value gap. So it has consolidated in this area here. So I think it is going to push up, possible break and retest at this level. AUDUSD. Okay, so we've got sort of high highs, high lows. It's consolidated a little bit, and then it started to make lower lows, lower highs. We are at this level here, so let's just drop it down a time frame, see if we can. What I like to do normally, let's say this lower point here, is draw it, right, and then drop it down a time frame and just make it a little bit more. You can just keep nibbling at it until you get a really valid area. So it probably won't go any lower than the hour on this one. Again, if you drag it to the left, you can see all these taps. So that makes it a valid area straight away. If you haven't already guessed it, I'm going to say break and retest down to the sell side, the downside. So that is what I'm thinking. Bitcoin, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Where's the weekly? Where's the previous week? Bitcoin's a little bit different. Let's just have a look at some of these levels. We've got fair value gap straight away in there. I do think Bitcoin is going to pump up, if I'm honest. Here looks like a good area, to be honest. Quite a good area. Again, got all these rejections. Huge push down, retest. Pushed up. Kept coming down but failing, and then pushed back up. So, personally, I mean, you know, you don't want to buy too early. You want to see some sort of pullback, whether it's to the top of here, even, you know, around this level. So again, if you look on the daily, you can see this 38 level is right on this high here. So that there is a potential buy as well. I am buy side for this, if I'm honest. You can see that a bit easier now. So that is what I'm thinking for Bitcoin for this week. CAD CHF. Okay, so we have a head, right shoulder. We've broke up, retested this neckline, and it started to push down. So is that going to continue to push down? Might have missed it on this one, I'll be honest. I think the only way this will push up is if it breaks that trend line. Let's push it down just a little bit more. We are at a key level here. So I would either wait for a break and retest for the sell, or if it breaks the trend line, look for a buy. CAD JPY. I'm thinking buys this week. Nice and simple. It's the good thing about doing this. It's literally, it's you know, break and retests are one of the easiest things to do. Again, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tap-ins. So there's your support and resistance, something like that for this week. It's so easy to draw, so easy to do. It is one of those where once you get the hang of it, it makes life so much easier when looking for where you think it could go. So let there is an area here that it could come down to. However, I'm just going to leave it as these, nice and simple. Nothing too crazy. Just some areas that, you know, it could start to push out of. So again, looking at that, we've pushed up to that level. It might come back down to this level, in all fairness. That's quite a valid area. Again, plenty of tap-ins. You don't want to go too far back, so it just gets to the point where it's just too much going on and you can't keep up. So buy side for all of these, whether it's a break and retest down here, whether it's a break and retest here, or a pullback and a retest for a buy down there. Either way, I am buy side for pretty much all of these so far. You know, again, it just becomes like deja vu, I'll be honest, when you start doing it day in, day out. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tap-ins. So, you know, plenty of resistance. There's nothing stopping that now from becoming support. So what's to say that this week at some point it will break and retest. If you want to, you know, watch any more of these, either skip or rewind to where it was, and then you can draw the same levels as me for potential setups. Again, these are just ideas for this week. I'm not saying do it, I'm not saying don't do it. It is completely, obviously, up to you. So here, this one's slightly different. So if you look up here, we haven't broken retest, whereas here we basically have broke, right? And if you come into an area where there's plenty of stuff going on, again, if you drop it down the time frame, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, 5 touches. It broke, retested. So what's now stopping that from retesting that level? Absolutely nothing. So that is where I am at so far. Again, it literally becomes, if you find, right, so all the euros now, you will find that they will pretty much all be the same break and retests. It's just some of them might, this one for example, might only pull back to here and push up. This one might come all the way down. So it's just a case of monitoring them and picking the one that you find is a confident entry. Just see where this trend line goes. Okay, where does that bring us to? Okay, I'm not liking the look of that. Let's have a little look. So where we are now, I'm going to come off here, draw to the left slightly. There's a couple of break and retests there. I am then going to come from this high here. Again, we've got a couple of break and retests there, and I think it will be going up. So we might see a couple of break and retests on these levels. So there now. So we will see by next Sunday whether any of these was any good or if they wasn't. It's very simple, but this is just a quick little rundown of where, you know, there's possibilities for this week. All of this is on, oh my gosh, all of these are on the bigger time frame. So the bigger, we broke that trend line, broke retest. So now, you know, again, using the trend lines, I have used this in a video if anybody wants to watch. 1, 2, multiple touches that way. There's nothing, again, you know, straight off the bat, just pick a high, pick a low. You can see all these touches through there. Nothing stopping from that coming down, breaking, retest, and pushing back, taking out these highs here. So look for levels, look for areas where it could go. You know, not everyone is going to win, not everyone is going to lose. You are going to get a couple of wins at some point. And you are going to get a couple of losses at some point. It's just trying to assess where you think you are and aren't. It's very simple. It's like all these. I'll guarantee you some of these will win, some of these will lose. It's just at some point you've got to, I think this is going down, I'll be honest. At some point you have to just sort of, you know, take some sort of initiative and just enter, I'll be honest. You know, you don't just want to sit there all day going, oh, like I'm only going to enter if it were like, that's just not the reality of it. You know, you are going to lose. So the idea is just to try and get as many minimal losses as you can. You know, you just got to draw them up. Nothing. The thing is though, if you start sitting here for hours and hours and hours assessing it, blah blah blah, it just gets to the point where you're just doing far too much and you're overthinking it, and before you know it, you're missing opportunities, you're messing around. Like, just nice. It's like this. I'm not thinking about it too much. I can see a high, so initially I'm thinking, right, break and retest that high. This low is lower than that low. That low is lower than that low. So initially I'm thinking, okay, yes, we've got a couple of downwards movements, but the whole, you know, overall look is up and down. Yes, you've got a couple of pullbacks, but it's like I said, initially, overall, it's up. I mean, that is up. Can like, that is up, right? So you want to be looking for buys. It's very simple. Like, yes, there are a couple of downs, but why would you go against the trend? Just literally, just have a quick look, assess it. So obviously we've come down, we've failed to break this low, we've pushed up, we're at this high here, these lower lows, lower highs, we're at this lower high here, it hasn't come past the lower low. So for me now, this is where your change of character could come in. You break this lower high and all of a sudden you have a change of character, which is in this area here, and then as soon as you get that break and retest, that's your change of character, that's your retest on the chart, and then it'll do it again. Let's say come down to this level, and then straight away that's your next target level for your next entry. That's your break structure, and then it'll do it again, another break structure. Like, it's just, it does get to a point where it's pretty simple. You know, like I said, you could literally sit here for hours and hours and hours, but it just gets to the point where, you know, nobody wants to start looking at assessing the charts. Like, I've said it so many times, nobody genuinely knows where the market is going. It's very simple. Because if everybody knew, everybody would be millionaires. You know what I mean? So, you know, find your person that you're happy trading with, find the person that you're happy following and whatnot. Like, at the end of the day, you know, stick with them. Don't keep switching between person and person just because somebody loses. Like, you are going to lose. And if anybody's out there saying, oh, like, follow me, subscribe to me, like, copy my trades, all I do is win, like, it's just nonsense, let's be honest. You know, nobody ever will just have 100% win rate. It's very simple. And again, all these people, influencers, whatever you want to call them, on here that are saying, yeah, like, win rate of 99%, 100%, it's just a load of crap. They just want your money. They just want you to sign up to whatever they're doing, take the money, happy days. Whereas I'm trying to just be like, look, it's like this, like, look, quick draw up, this is how it is. Either you enter it or you don't. It's very simple. You know, I'd rather be straight to the point than lying to everybody, because what's the point? So again, let me just give you a little rundown. So we've got not quite a left shoulder, but we've got a head, right shoulder. So break, retest this neckline right here on the head, possible down movement. Again, it's just quick and simple. You don't want to start overthinking it, because the more you start looking at it going, oh, what if it breaks here, but then it could come down to it. Like, it's just don't do it. Just draw it. You can always go back the rest of the week, keep assessing it, keep looking at it, and doing it that way. So it's like this, for example. Drawing a quick little trend line. So we've got 2 taps, come off the highs. We've got our resistance. It breaks this trend line, starts to move up. That's a sign that we've broke the trend line. Yes, we've got lower lows, lower highs, but we've broke the trend line now. Start to push up, create higher highs, higher lows, retest this resistance area. Possibility of a buy. Move on. Don't overthink it. That's pretty much all I like to do, really. Just, gosh, I can't grab it. There we go. I don't wanna sit here for hours and hours and hours overthinking it, blah blah blah. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? So it's like next week when I'm trading my own personal account, I'll just come back at these. Let me just mark that so I don't forget where it was. So it's like, let's say if I look at this and it's shot all the way down here, okay, I'm not going to enter that one. Okay, I'll use this one because it's there. This one's above it. Okay, this is a potential, so I'll just mark it up, put my alerts on, and just see if it comes in. And if it comes in, I enter. If it doesn't, I don't. Very simple. And then next week I'll just assess it again. So it's like here, for example, looking for a break and retest. Put your alerts in. Let's say you want to come in off this top, so let's get it more accurate. Let's come off this top. So let's say you want to enter at 37,468. So let's just 4,6. That's close enough. Put your alert in. Happy days, and then just enter on that line. Stop loss just below it, and then just either a 2-to-1 minimum, which to be fair, it's 17 pips. That's easily doable if I'm honest. Have a look to the left, see what's there. So there's some highs up here, some support. So it could come to the bottom of here, which would make it straight away 4-to-1. It's just literally trying to minimize your losses. That's literally all trading is. And the only way you're going to minimize your losses is simply by drawing up a few things, and just if it doesn't enter, if it doesn't, it's like this week, if this doesn't come down here, then obviously I will not be trading USD CHF. It's just as simple as that. I'm not too sure which way this is going, if I'm honest. I do think this is coming down, if I'm honest. So again, just we got a head, shoulder. We haven't quite broken this neckline, but I still think this head, right shoulder is going to be broken at some point this week, possibly. Again, no stress if it does, no stress if it doesn't. Let's have a look. So quickly just drawing a few areas. And the last one, XAU. I'm gonna just drag these across. I've already got my levels. XAUUSD. And that is it from me. Nice and simple, nothing too stressful. That's pretty much how I like to trade, just trend lines, support and resistance, and I do like to bring out the Fibonacci on situations. Let me see if I can use it anywhere here. Not quite. Let me see if I can use it like. There's nowhere really. It's like. Okay. Oh. So it's like here, for example. So obviously I'm looking for buys here. There's a huge movement from this point here to the top. So all I do, because we move it, it's going up. So we start at the bottom all the way to the top. Straight away, that just gives you a few levels for you to work out and you want to be drawing it when it's moved a couple of candles, so it's like 2-3 candles. So you draw it, and straight away it's came in at this level, straight away took to the top, back up to the top. So it's just, I like to use the Fibonacci more of you know, just areas where it's moved, and I'm just looking, okay, like, so it's like here, let's say this shot now down to here, right, and then it started to pull back a little bit. I would now draw my fib from the top to where it is and just see that level. So I could be like, okay, straight away, you know, it's in my golden zone up here, it's on my trend line, and let's say this comes all the way now. Let me just delete that a minute just to make life easier. So it's come back down to there, it's come up to somewhere around here. So now I'll be thinking, right, it's in my golden zone, it's in my area of support resistance, it's around my trend line. I'd look for a sell now, straight the way back down to the downside. Take at this bottom, maybe not quite. I like to stop loss just above. Straight away, that's a 4-to-1. And again, I've got multiple scenarios there. I've used my Fibonacci retracement levels, support resistance level, trend line. So it's just more than one. It's not just looking at something and thinking, oh, you know, that's tapped in my support, that's tapped in my fair value. Like, you want to try and get as many scenarios to give you a reason as to why to enter. But anyway, that is it for my Sunday setups on the week commencing the 20. What date is it tomorrow? Week commencing the 23rd. You know, there's levels if you want to go off them. Just keep your eyes on them. Keep peeled. You know, if anything does enter, make sure you've got a valid reason why to enter. Don't just enter it just because it comes in. Drop it down the time frames. Can we see any, like, I'm gonna use this for example. So just because this came in, don't enter for buys. Let's have a look, you know. So see that we've got big movements coming down, and it's slowed down, it's slowed down, it's slowed down. Okay, right, now let's enter, you know, all of that, ready to make it entries. Don't just enter because it taps in, like, it's big movements down, slow down, pushed up, slow down, pushed up, slow down. But okay, you know, even if you don't get in right on the candle, on the perfect one, as long as, you know, you've got your analysis, stop loss just below, you know, straight away 2-to-1. I mean, that would have gone all the way up to 6-to-1. But just use it as a guideline, top down analysis, make life nice and simple. Don't stress, and if you're unsure, don't enter, because if you're clicking buttons, there's a possibility you could lose money. But that is it for today's video on this week's potential setups and areas of interest. If again you've made it to the end, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, I'd massively appreciate it, and have a good one. Good luck with this week's trading. Peace out.